Hi, I'm Don Carr, and this is the Dr. Z CAZ-45. The CAZ-45 is a hand-wired high-gain tube amp that's the result of a collaboration between Dr. Z and Alan Phillips of Carol Ann Amps fame. It's a unique amp that only happened because two great amp designers combined their collective knowledge, skills, and resources. They both brought their strengths to the design, and the result is something that's different from anything either one of them has built. So today we're going to check out this amp, we're going to listen to some sounds, and I'm going to sit down and talk to Dr. Z and Alan Phillips about their collaboration and the result, which is this amazing amp. It's a single-channel amp with a lot of flexibility and some unique features. The first control is sensitivity. It feeds the input stage of the amp and is pretty dramatic. Then you have the gain and EQ controls, and after that is the aggression control. It feeds the back end of the amp and is also pretty dramatic. Then there's the master section of presence and level. Since the level is post-phase inverter, it doesn't change the basic sound and feel of the amp wherever you have it set. The back panel has a tube-driven effects loop that integrates pedals perfectly into the system without messing with the tone or the feel of the amp. The power section uses two 6L6 power tubes. This amp has great note separation and clarity, even with a lot of gain. It's punchy and clear, not harsh, and the EQ is beautifully voiced. It's really responsive and cleans up well with your guitar volume knob. Make no mistake, this is a mid to high gain amp, but it has a wide dynamic range. The cabinet I'm using is the Dr. ZZ Best. It's a 212 cab with a Celestion V30 and a 65-watt creamback. I pre-recorded a loop that I'm going to play through the amp, and I'm going to dial around while the loop is playing so you can hear how all the controls interact. I was lucky enough to get to talk with Dr. Z and Alan Phillips about this amp. Here's what they had to say about it. Hey, Don Carr here, and I've got Dr. Z and Alan Phillips on the line, and we're talking about the new CAZ-45 amp from Dr. Z Amps. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
The amp is killer. It sounds amazing. So much fun to play. And to me, that's one of the great things is like when you get an amp that's fun to play, you know, it just makes you want to keep playing.
Yeah, that was one of the things that Alan had said when we were doing our prototypes back and forth. Mm-hmm. It was like, man, it's just so much fun. I don't want to stop playing. It's just so easy to play and so fun to play.
Yeah.
Great that it turned out that way. That's for sure. That's for sure. Alan's got these incredible design chops. I mean, he's an amazing engineer. So I approached Alan. I said, Alan, you know, if you can design an amp for me, I'll build it in my facility and we'll do a collaboration and we'll build a great amp. Alan sent me a couple of pages of a great design. I sat down and cobbled it together. And then we sent prototypes back and forth to each other, and Alan played them and made suggestions. And then the design kind of evolved to where it is right now.
Stepping back a little bit, so I give Mike a schematic. I said, what I want you to do is use all of your components. I'm not going to tell you what resistor to use. I'm not going to tell you what capacitor to use. I want you to use what you're using right now, because that's part of the tonal fingerprint of your amps. And especially the transformers. We went through various configurations. Like it started out with a solid state effects loop, and that was okay. Mm-hmm. It was all right. It did the trick, but it wasn't so great with certain effects. And I'm like, well, I've got a really good tube-based loop here that I kind of perfected probably 10 years ago that will probably work really well in this. So I didn't even know Mike was doing it. The next one turned up with this effects loop in. Yeah. Like, oh, great! It's got the effects loop in. Mike made a change to the design that at first I was like, no, dude, no, please don't do that. Don't do that. And he went, just trust me. Just trust me on this. I'm like, all right, I'll trust you. And it was like kind of the best thing that he could have done for the amp. It was, and it was where that aggression control came out. That aggression control started life as a master volume, and now it's not a master volume.
Not at all.
The master volume has gone further down the signal chain. So that allows you an extra gain stage control. So you've got control of the signal coming between the last of the gains, the last of the overdrive stages and the phase inverter, which you wouldn't normally have. It was just beautiful how it turned out, because it isn't, I mean, he changed the circuit a little bit on that, and it isn't a master volume anymore. It is literally an aggression control. It's literally the amount of push you put into the phase inverter. So that was a cool control. That's not mine. That's his.
The aggression control is before the effects loop, right? Because it seems like when you crank it up, like it drives the effects loop a little bit harder too.
Yes,
so
yeah, it feeds the effects loop. Yes.
Right. It feeds it. But that's amazing, because that's like that's how much is, you know, how much you're pummeling the power section, which is great. I mean, that's kind of what you want. That's the sound and the feel of the amp at a louder volume, and then with the master being post phase inverter where it is, you know, it has more of a power scaling kind of feel to it. These are the tiny little details that take this amp from being like a great amp to an amazing amp. You know what I mean? And this is the collaboration stuff that is just incredible. I love this. Wow.
Thank you.
Bravo.
And you know, the thing behind the scenes is that, you know, Alan and I work so well together with this, because there's not an ego. There's not it's got to be this way because this is the way I want it.
Right.
We're able to, as two engineers, converse and talk about our ideas and try them and compare them and openly try to see what is better. And if it's better, let's use it. Alan and I have constantly been able to, I mean, we get on the phone and we're on the phone for 2 hours. You know, it's just this long and involved conversation. And we just keep going down the path and trying to improve, talk about our different disciplines and understandings. And we learn from each other. You know, I've learned so much from Alan. It's amazing. You know, I've been doing this for 33 years, but I constantly learn, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, and if you can't, you're lost, you know. So I can't wait for the next and the next and the next design that Alan and I do, because I know it's just going to get better and better and better as we continue to collaborate.
Yeah.
But let's get this one out first.
Wow.
Okay, good seeing you, Alan. Good seeing you,
You
Don.
too, man.
Good to see you too, Mike.
Enjoy that amp, Don. I can't wait to see your video of the amp.
Thanks so much. Thanks again, Alan. Really appreciate it, man. Nice to meet you.
No problem. You're welcome. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Cheers. Bye.
Good seeing you, Alan. Talk to you
See
soon,
you.
buddy.
All right, buddy.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for checking out the Dr. Z CAZ-45 with me. If you have any questions about this or any other Dr. Z product, make sure to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer, or you can check us out online at sweetwater.com. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click here for more videos like this, or start at sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs.